Greetings from South Korea. I am Adang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. The Blue House has welcomed China removing part of its controversial steel structures in the West Sea. In a notice on Wednesday, the top office called the move meaningful progress, noting the government's diplomatic efforts to resolve the issue with China. China's foreign ministry announced the previous day that the management platform in the Provisional Measures Zone, where South Korea and China's exclusive economic zones overlap, was being relocated. It cited voluntary action by the company in charge for its own corporate needs. The issue was addressed earlier this month at the summit between Presidents Lee Jae-myung and Xi Jinping. U.S. President Donald Trump signaled openness to further tariff talks with South Korea on Tuesday, saying the two sides will work something out despite earlier plans to raise tariffs on Korean goods from 15% to 25%. The White House says the proposed hike stems from South Korea's failure to implement commitments under a bilateral trade deal, under which Washington lowered tariffs in exchange for Seoul's pledge to invest $350 billion in the United States. U.S. officials point to delays in Korea's National Assembly in passing legislation needed to support that investment, while South Korea's ruling party says a formal review will begin in February. On the domestic front, South Korea unveiled a series of financial support measures aimed at stabilizing livelihoods and easing inflation pressures ahead of the upcoming Lunar New Year holiday in February. The measures were announced on Wednesday by the Ministry of Economy and Finance at a meeting of economy-related ministers. To curb holiday grocery prices, the government will supply a record 270,000 tons of key items, including apples, pear, and cabbage, and roll out record discounts. The package also includes new holiday funding for small merchants and SMEs worth around $27.4 billion, along with support worth $40.4 billion for loans and guarantees. To boost local spending, the government will issue regional gift certificates worth approximately $2.7 billion with higher discounts and purchase limits. Amid the intensifying global demand for high-bandwidth memory chips, SK hynix has reportedly secured more than two-thirds of the supply orders for Nvidia's next-gen HBM4 chips. That's according to Yonhap News Agency on Wednesday, which also said the order is for AI platforms including Nvidia's highly anticipated Vera Rubin next-generation AI supercomputer platform set to come later this year. The previous forecast had SK hynix supplying just over 50% of the HBM4 chips to its biggest customer. However, Samsung Electronics is set to take a step ahead by becoming the first supplier of HBM4 chips to Nvidia. Samsung reportedly passed final quality tests for both Nvidia and AMD, with delivery expected as early as next month. Both companies are expected to outline their official 2026 strategies during their respective earnings calls on Thursday. South Korean romantic drama, Can This Love Be Translated, ranked first on Netflix's global non-English TV chart. According to Netflix's official site on Wednesday, the romance drama starring Kim Sun-ho and Ko Yoon-jung recorded 9 million views on its second week of release. The drama currently ranks first in 15 countries, including Mexico, Colombia, and Indonesia, and is in the top 10 charts in 60 countries worldwide. The reality show Singles Inferno 5 ranked second in the global non-English TV chart and entered the top 10 in 32 countries. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.